Okay guys, in this video we're going to cover part 2 of the instructions, which is to create and style the sidebar in Halloween 9. So just to show you, by the end of this section of the exercise, you should have this pretty much done. So we're first going to style in these figure and fig captions, and I'll explain that in the instructions. And then we're going to modify the CSS so it looks like this. So back to the instructions, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to add a new sidebar. And in order to do that, we need to create an ID because we already have a sidebar. If you remember this guy over here, we also kind of called a sidebar. So we're going to assign the first sidebar an ID, and then we're going to create a second sidebar and assign that sidebar B. And that's what we're going to focus on in this part of the exercise, sidebar B. And essentially sidebar B, as you guys know, a navigation list is essentially a list of links. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to create an unordered list. Of course, we're going to put our heading, H2 heading there. But we're going to create a list of links using a combination of UL and LI tags. And we're going to put the figure and fig caption tags inside of each of those. And I have the code that you need for the first one in there. And then you can just modify it for the second ones. So I figured rather than having you guys figure it out on your own, I would just give you the code and then you guys can modify it for the rat and the strobe light. Now, if you are using W3, you want to use this code right here instead of this code right here, because if you're online, you have to link to the site where the images are hosted. Okay. And then once you are done with the HTML for that part, it's going to look somewhat like this. Obviously, it doesn't look at all correct until you get the CSS in there. And then once you start modifying the CSS, keep in mind, guys, we're going to be using the ID as our selector in each and every one of our rule sets. And I gave you the selector here. It's italicized for each one so that you make sure you have the right selector in there. And I told you what the rules should be. So when you're done with everything and you get to this stopping point, it should look like this. And you should have your little images on the right, which are kind of like thumbnails, and these links won't go anywhere because the pages don't exist. So don't worry about that, but it should at least look like this as far as the formatting is concerned. So if you have any problems with this section, steps 11 through, is it 11? So yeah, steps 11 through 24, let me know and I will be happy to help you guys.